Brianna, what's the deal? It's your folks, Shaka. Wanted to share my thoughts with y'all real quick. So, y'all, I wanted to speak a few things on this 4 year old that drowned. There's some talk about it all over social media right now, and I think that it's a good opportunity for those so called black people that count. It's an opportunity for us to learn something. Because, of course, these other folks ain't learning nothing. They're just kind of sitting around here waiting on them to get their victim pie. And so let's just get into it. Number one, just so-called black folks reacting to these other groups of people, we have to understand that other groups of people actually stick together in times like this. So-called black folks, I've said this, are not used to sticking together. We don't stick together collectively. And so when situations like this happen, we kind of look to the other people to be as dusty as we are in times like this, and they're not. They actually stick together. They're not going to take you over their own. And the reason why so-called black folks react to this in an unlearned way is because most black folks are used to just kind of like tap dancing with any old body when situations like this happen to appease to the other groups of people. Okay? But they're going to stick together. They're going to stick with their own. And if they do got something to say about how that woman handled these things, they're going to say that to her among themselves. And a lot of times you're not going to get the memo because they don't want you to ever believe that they're going to take their own over you. And that's just the truth of the matter. And so these black folks out here calling folks racist and stuff like that just because they are siding with their own, you need to grow up a little bit. Get out the baby crib, all right? Now, are there bigots and racists out there? Yeah. But this is not the way to engage with this situation because you just find yourself sitting around being a victim to this stuff and you're not evolving or learning how to deal with it a better way in the future. And hopefully ensuring that it doesn't happen as much as possible. So that's number one. Number two, we have to understand when we take our children to be supervised, trained, or taught by these people, the culture with them is they do not feel the same way about us that they feel about themselves. Okay? A lot of those people, most of them, they have a very expendable way of thinking about us. Like, we can easily be replaced. We're very abundant. Okay? They don't feel the same way. There was a situation some time ago where a woman had murdered her boyfriend that was a so-called man of African descent or whatever. And she was out kind of like having drinks with her father right after. And people were like, dang, you don't feel bad. They don't feel the same. And they could be our lovers. They could be our teachers or whatever. But when things like this happen, it's just not there in them. And so you got to remember that when you're taking your child to be supervised by these people. There are some people that are saying that she didn't seem like she had any remorse or anything. And even when she came to the car, she was mean when she told the parents to come get the kid or whatever. That's why. Okay? Black folks need to understand that no matter how nice they are, when crunch time comes, they are not going to feel the same way about you. Okay? Or your children. All right, understand that when you choose these people to be supervising your children and stuff like that. The number three thing you gotta understand is that these women, they are not good at supervising children anyway. In fact, they are the worst. Okay, so if you still decide that you want to allow them to supervise your children, you gotta make sure that they have more personnel on deck than on average. Okay? Also because they are not the most mentally stable either. Alright? And so they have to have more personnel when it comes to supervising and teaching children like that than on average. When you decide this stuff, because when you do this, your child is at risk just by that alone because they're not as good as some other group of women. Now, yeah, can other group of women be bad at it too? Yes. But the ones that are good at it, they are oftentimes not found within those women. Okay? And so I just wanted to go ahead and say that, man. Those are some things that we got to remember. All right? We got to start evolving with learning how to better deal with these other groups of people. Comment below, like this information, hit the sub button and the bell. We dropping shit you like. It's your folks, Shaka the Urban Philosopher. I'm out. It's 300.